I guess very first question, can you give us an overview of what was decided on in the council chambers a few minutes ago?
Yes, it sounds like they're going to have the DNR come at some point in the future and explain its rationale on a few things, but also that they will likely be pursuing additional soil testing in the park. I think how many samples and where those are located is still to be determined.
Just exactly how many would you like to see, ideally? I know 3 to 5 was kind of mentioned. Is that in your wheelhouse?
Yes, I think the number is probably less important than making sure the areas in the past that have already exceeded higher levels, retesting those to make sure that over time they did indeed decline. So I think starting with the areas we knew had exceedances would make logical sense, and then take it from there.
Now, this is something that you and your group have been asking for a while. Is there a certain timeline that you would like to see this kind of wrap up? Because it has been going on for a while.
Yes, I mean, as soon as possible. We're aware that some of this doesn't occur overnight, but since this has been a focus for some time, we think it's not necessarily solving a Rubik's Cube, and defining the area at hand and remediating it seems like it could be done efficiently moving forward.
So when you're talking about remediation, what would your group like to see done if it's determined that needs to happen?
Yes.
Does that mean digging up the soil, replacing it, or just paving it over?
Yes, I think that would be at the discretion of the DNR and the city, but essentially what's done all over the city, including the East River front and moving forward the South River front, they'll find exceedances and often cap or excavate, and we're just asking that our neighborhood is treated the same as future affluent areas.
So you mentioned kind of before, this is going back to 2014, at the very latest. So this has been going on for some time. What would you ultimately is your end game in this? Because obviously, as we said, it's been going on.
I think with the soil, the park's the area that exhibited the highest levels off of any industrial property. So I think it would be important if remediation needs to be done there, that it's finally done. Moving forward, the DNR is looking at the next phase of groundwater treatment in the neighborhood from the Waleco site. We'll be asking the city to support us in an off-site pump and treat system, which the DNR has also had an early interest in.
What's your reaction to the DNR, results that Pat kind of spoke about in his press release this morning?
Sure. Well, we thank Dr. Zhang for her conclusions and report. There is a different side of the coin, and that's regulatory. So despite any toxicological conclusion, we expect that the regulatory standards are followed regardless of any subjective opinion.
And then I know there was a little bit of a discussion too about the history of this neighborhood and the cancer that's been found in that area, spreading through families or entire households. What do you want the people to know about that?
Well, I think there's been a lot of increased awareness the last few years, but I hope that, especially for those whose families perhaps have had issues and had to face health problems, that they are aware of the information that's out there and that we're able to help facilitate getting that to them.
Great, and kind of piggyback off of his question and my last question, as far as people who kind of actively visit that park, what would you say to those people who still go there to play baseball or go on the swing or anything like that?
Absolutely. I'd say contact your city council person and let them know you want the contamination delineated and then remediated. I think with what Dr. Zhang concluded, she concluded there is no acute hazard. However, this does exceed the DNR's lifetime cancer risk, so it should be addressed.
I think I'm good.
I'm good if you're
Okay.
good.